Today I want to talk to you guys about how to be better at small talk and, making conversation in a situation where it's not necessarily natural or might feel forced. Maybe you don't know the person, maybe it's a friend of a friend, whatever it is. I want to offer you guys some tips to having more natural conversation and just to help you be better at it.
Southside, can't get enough, can't get enough. East side, west side, worldwide. Ride out. Nah, I ain't got no kids yet, but this right here's for practice. I hate to get the seats in the bins wet, but that's how good your ass is. Make an old man get his glasses, make Wesley pay his taxes, then follow your moves all week on Twitter. Probably make a gay nigga reconsider. You're now rocking with the best, man. Dress game down to the sex game. Won't brag, but the boy been blessed, man. Let you play with the stick.
Tip number one for how to have easier conversation is to speak selflessly. So it can be very difficult to have a conversation with somebody when all they want to talk about is themselves. But if you are on the other side of that and decide that you want to let the person do that, the conversation is just going to flow so much more naturally because literally everybody likes to talk about themselves. So instead of trying to push the conversation towards what you're doing, it will be a lot easier on you if you ask them questions, act interested in what they're doing, try to be interested in what they're doing, and ultimately push it towards them and let them talk. They're gonna actually feel more inclined to like you and like the conversation if they have the opportunity to do that. That is where tip number two comes into play, which is to search actively for a common ground. So the conversation will turn into more of a connection and it'll feel a lot more natural if you find something in what they're telling you that you can relate to. And what I mean by that is, let's say they mention that they've swam in high school, or their mom is in a book club, I don't know, something random like that. If they say something that you can relate to, hop on that, tell them, oh yeah, mention whatever it is that you relate to, and that's gonna make it a lot easier. There's gonna be more of a connection there, and you're probably gonna find a lot more things to talk about. Although you may have a lot of differences with this person, you will probably have a lot more similarities with them than you think. Tip number three is to try to not make it small talk. So it's a lot easier to have a conversation when, for example, you're talking to your friend, you're talking to somebody where it doesn't feel like you're forcing the conversation. And a way to do that and to make it less of small talk is to, be vulnerable, share maybe a detail or two about yourself. You might not feel super comfortable sharing, but showing that vulnerability can allow for a much deeper connection. The person can see that you're letting your guard down, and it can make them more inclined to share more about themselves, and that will lead to a better overall conversation. You both can benefit from it. Gear it towards being a real conversation, and that's going to make it 10 times easier. And my fourth and final tip for you guys is to be confident in what you say. I consider myself not somebody who confidence came naturally to, but rather I practiced it and learned it and developed it over time. Now when I have conversation, I have conviction in the points that I make. Even if I'm not 100% sure what I'm talking about, I'm just honest and open. And ultimately the conversations I have are just that much better. I hope you guys found these tips useful. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And let me know what you think in the comments. Peace out, guys.